TechNow.com. Another example of the best business.
Hello, YouTube. Welcome back to another episode of Documenting History. Our goal is to document history for future generations. These videos are going to be very, very important, I believe, 30 years from now, 40 years from now, as people look back and hopefully listen to what's going on in the news. These are historic times in the U.S., so please stay tuned. Every morning, as I commute to work, I listen to 1010 Wins, and I decided to record the drive and upload the videos on a daily basis.
Stunning announcement yesterday afternoon. And within minutes, the Democratic National Party had raised $50 million on word that President Joe Biden, via that letter to the American public, says he will no longer continue in his quest for a second term as president. He is standing down and throwing his support behind his vice president, Kamala Harris. Whether she gets the nomination remains to be seen. We get more now from ABC News.
This is a special report from ABC News. Biden drops out. I'm Sherry Preston. World leaders are reacting to the news that President Biden has withdrawn from the 2024 presidential race. Here's ABC's Tom Rivers at the foreign desk.
At the recent NATO summit, Keir Starmer said after his one-on-one with Joe Biden, he was sharp. Now, that same prime minister says he respects the president's decision. Elsewhere, Germany's Olaf Scholz, whose party recently came in a dismal third in EU elections, was quick to praise the man who said Nord Stream 2 would not come online. Elsewhere in Russia, questions persist as to whether the decision was in fact voluntary.
Now, as for the Republican nominee, former President Donald Trump,
we know from our sources that the Trump team has been building a book to take on Kamala Harris, attack her for some of her past statements, and do everything they can to tie her to Joe Biden.
That's ABC senior investigative producer John Santucci. This is ABC News.
Stay with 1010 Wins. We have local and state politicians and their reactions, as well as what does the average New Yorker think about all this, coming up. Wins News Time 7:31, traffic and transit. Here is Karen Stewart.
All right, we're going to talk about the west side of the city first. We're going to the West Side Highway here. Southbound at 72nd Street, we've got a crash. This crash is in the left-hand lane. We are delayed heavily from back at 110th Street on the FDR Drive. We've got east side problems too. The northbound FDR Drive at 53rd Street has got an accident there being reported. We've got delays on the northbound FDR Drive into the area that go back probably right around 23rd Street right now as I look live at the 1010 Wins jam cams over at the West Side Highway. So your West Side Highway alternate on the southbound side is going to be 2nd Avenue, and your northbound FDR Drive alternate is going to be 1st Avenue. In the Bronx, the northbound Hutchinson Parkway, north of the Drawbridge, we've got an accident blocking a lane there. You can try to take the New England Thruway through that area instead. And just a heads up, if you're going to be on the east side of the city this afternoon, the Yankees are home against the Tampa Bay Rays. 1:05 is the first pitch. Here's what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels. The upper level's 20 of the George, the lower level's 25, and the Palisades Parkway approach is also 15 to 20. Actually, so is the Route 4 and 46 approaches. The inbound Lincoln is 20, and the inbound Holland has got a 35-minute delay. Traffic is sponsored by the Barnes Firm Traffic Tip Line, which is 844-JAM-1010. From the Farmers Dog Traffic Center, fresh human-grade dog food delivered right to your door. I'm Karen Stewart, 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM.
I'm attorney Rich Barnes. If you've been in a car crash, choosing the right firm is crucial to get the help you need and the best result possible.
The Barnes Firm, injury attorneys, call 1-800-8-million.
Manhattan, Long Island. Gearing up for a rough couple of days. Not so much today, but beyond that. The AccuWeather 4-day forecast right now. We check in with meteorologist Heather Zaire.
Lots of weather that we're going to have to get through. Not so much for today. There can be a spotty afternoon thunderstorm, but the best chance of that is west of the city. Most of the time and most places today are going to stay dry with sun giving way to clouds and a more humid afternoon with a high of 84. Tonight then, a muggy night. We've got a few showers and heavy thunderstorms on the way, and those are going to move slowly across the area, bringing a likelihood for flooding on some streets, and in poor drainage areas will drop down to 71 degrees. Just a spotty shower or thunderstorm then during the day tomorrow. It'll stay humid with a high of 84. We have another round, though, for more widespread showers and thunderstorms tomorrow night. That'll diminish Wednesday morning before picking up again in the afternoon on Wednesday with a high of 81. We continue to have showers and thunderstorms around on Thursday with a high of 85. Finally, we dry out on Friday. Currently partly sunny, 76 in Central Park and going up to 84. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Heather Zier on New York's weather station, 1010 Winds on 92.3 FM.
All right, Heather, thank you. Just hours before the director of the Secret Service is set to appear before Congress to answer questions on how an attempted assassin was able to take shots at former President Donald Trump at that rally in Pennsylvania, the Homeland Security Department now says there will be a bipartisan independent review of those security failures.
Homeland Security independent investigation of that attempt on Donald Trump's life will include 4 people from both parties, including former DHS Secretary Janet Napolitano. They will have 45 days to review what the Secret Service did and did not do before and after the July 13th rally. A Republican-led House committee holding hearings this week to question the Secret Service director.
Correspondent Andy Field. Police investigating 2 fatal shootings in Brooklyn near the Ryerson Migrant Shelter. Cops telling 1010 Winds the first shooting happened at about 10:45 last night near Flushing and Steuben Street. The victim, shot in the chest, pronounced dead on arrival at Brooklyn Methodist, only identified as a man in his 30s. The second shooting happened just 6 minutes later near 29 Meyerson Street. 2 people hit. The first victim, a man in his 20s, shot multiple times. He died at Bellevue. The other victim, a man in his 50s, was shot in the head, is in critical condition at Methodist Hospital. No arrests in either case. $10 million worth of illegal drugs packaged to look like chocolate and candy impounded.
Neighbors on Timpson Place in Mott Haven had been complaining about it for a while. Finally, the city sheriff and the NYPD raided an after-hours social club and warehouse. An estimated $10 million worth of pot products were seized. Sheriff Anthony Miranda said it was packaged as chocolate and other candies, but all untested.
There's serious health and safety issues with this product that's being distributed in our communities. This is what the community is complaining about. And this is also what has a devastating impact on the legal market to be able to develop and service the community properly.
Besides the marijuana, there were psychedelic mushrooms, much of it in colorful wrappers that children would be attracted to. It was the largest bust by law enforcement in the Bronx in recent memory. Carol Dioria, 1010 Winds at 92.3 FM in the Bronx.
1010 Winds Entertainment coming up. Taylor Swift dethroned. I'll explain next.
Are you ready, kids? Nickelodeon Universe is...
We're documenting history by recording the daily snippet of the news in the New York metropolitan area. We thank you for joining us as we continue these historic times. We're also listening to vintage commercials, for lack of a better word. We're in Patterson. We're on our way to Garfield. We're getting on Route 80.
With your neighbors at a cookout to gain.
Make sure you're subscribed if you want to become an official Freddie Cardona historian.
Make sense of your money with Citizens. Learn more at citizensbank.com/made ready.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer, he hears things differently. To the untrained ear,
getting onto 80 East.
But he can hear gears grinding.
For those of you that are not from the northeastern section of the United States, this is Interstate 80, headed east towards New York.
Which is music to his ears. Call Click Ranger.
When you watch these videos, you're also looking at the different cars, the different buildings,
As a roofer,
and what's going on in these neighborhoods as I drive through them.
that's why I partnered with Beacon. With their unique Beacon Pro Plus app, I've got the brands I depend on, like GAF, right at my fingertips 24/7. I rely on Beacon because I never stop building, and neither do they. Now through September 15th, purchase GAF through Beacon Pro Plus and earn up to $1,500. Go to BECN.com or download the Beacon Pro Plus app today. Beacon, always building.
1010 Winds.
It's where I get my news.
I gotta know what's happening in my city.
It's my only source of news.
1010 Winds at 92.3 FM.
1010 Winds Entertainment now. Bit of a...
Make sure I don't get a copyright strike, even though this channel is not monetized.
Shady Drops debuts at number 1 on Billboard 200. After 12 weeks at the top, Taylor's The Tortured Poets Department has now fallen to number 4. Winds News Time 7:39.
Hey, welcome to IKEA's Big Ready for College event. We're your one-stop shop to get your college student ready for fall semester and save up to 30% on select items.
Wow, perfect timing. I need to get my kids' space ready without breaking my budget.
Oh, how about offers on comfy furniture, clever storage, and stylish decor?
Ooh, sign me up.
Visit us in store from July 10th to July 23rd or at IKEA-USA.com/ready for more details. Offer valid dates may vary. U.S. only while supplies last. Selection may vary by store and online. See store and IKEA-USA.com/ready for college for complete terms. Restrictions apply.
You're in hot water, mister.
What'd I do?
I told you months ago our utility bills were getting higher because of that old outdated tank water heater.
Maybe it's time we finally switch to a Navien tankless.
Learn about Navient's high-efficiency tankless water heaters, endless hot water, all while helping you save on your energy costs.
Hey, look at this. Our utility bill is lower since we got the Navien tankless water heater.
Who's in hot water now?
We are, all the time.
Learn more at tanklessmadesimple.com.
1010 Wins is now on TuneIn.
The News Watch never stops. This is 1010 Wins at 92.3 FM. You give us 22 minutes, we'll give you the world.
Good morning, 76 degrees right now at 7:40 on this Monday, July 22nd. I'm Brian Britton. Here's what's happening. Vice President Kamala Harris now running for president with the full endorsement of President Joe Biden after Biden shocks the establishment by dropping out yesterday. It remains to be seen who will be the official nominee. Just because Biden endorses Harris doesn't mean the delegates at the DNC will agree. Questions abound. Who will be her running mate? Speculation looking towards governors and even a senator of one of the battleground states. Reaction from both sides of the political spectrum coming in fast and furious. Democrats praising Biden as a patriot. Republicans suggesting if Biden is unfit to run, then he's also unfit to finish out his term. In other news, the CrowdStrike IT failure continues to wreak havoc on the airports. Delays, cancellations nationwide still today. Sports, Mets and Yankees both lose. AccuWeather, okay at the moment, but it's going to get rough. Humid, clouds, some sun, spotty afternoon thunderstorm, mainly west of the city on a high of 84. Winds news time 7:41.
All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned as we navigate through these historic times with these daily uploads. And this is the true meaning of recording history, as we are recording it live as it happens. And I know people say on the internet, everything's going to be on there 20 years from now. But the internet loses the local flavor of these local broadcasts, because we not only get the national news, we also get the local news that oftentimes do get lost to history. All right, guys, thank you so much, and we'll see you on the next episode.